Oh, that's delicious.
What was it?
Pickle juice.
That's disgusting.
You're disgusting. Let me live my life, dude. You're just mad.
Mad that I don't want to drink vinegar with a little bit of cucumber flavoring.
I don't like the way that you said vinegar, but I'm going to let it go because I respect you.
Okay.
And I just don't want to spread hate. If that's what you choose to do, that's fine.
I'm too tired for this garbage.
Speaking of garbage, let's start the show. Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. You can never have too much of it. We're your hosts. I'm Connor O'Connor.
And I am a very sleepy boy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like I'm always perpetually tired, especially on my days off, which is when we choose to record because it would be too difficult on my days that I work. But because I'm like an overnight guy, you know what I mean? Like I stay up all night for work. It's just dang near impossible to ever get decent sleep or feel not tired when you're, awake during the day. But it's D&D day. Well, tabletop RPG day at my family's, so I'm excited.
That helps make it worth it.
It does.
I haven't played D&D in forever. We're not going to talk about that right now. What stop.
Did you hear that?
I can't hear anything.
All right, that's fine. It's my D&D dice. Just shaking them up.
I recently had to put all of my dice into a box because I had too many now.
That's so sad. I still have my dice bag of holding or whatever it is. It's getting very full, like insanely full. And I just bought some new ones the other day. A guy on the couch, I got one of those mystery bags. It's like 90s themed or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's so sweet. It's so cool. The dice are like okay, but the bag I thought was cool.
I still have this out though.
Nice.
But there's no like mystery, like ooh.
Well, the D20's gone. Bye-bye.
No, thankfully it's still up here. I just don't know why I didn't realize that was going to happen when I did that. I just wanted to roll to see how we were going to do on the episode.
You have no critical thinking skills.
And yet I am asked to plan things out all the time.
Yeah.
Just got a 2. That's not great.
I got a 1. This episode's
This is not going to be a good episode at all.
That's like one of my consistent dice. That's like really good. So that's not a good sign.
I wonder what could have like cursed this episode.
Probably the eating of pickles, Connor, and drinking pickle juice. You nasty mother freaking trucker. That's so gross, dude.
No, there's no artificial dyes, so we're good.
It's not about the dyes, Connor. It's not even about the contents. It's about the flavor and how it tastes going down.
Cucumbers, water, distilled vinegar, 2% or less of for salt, calcium chloride.
Do you know what I use distilled vinegar for?
Polysorbate.
My laundry, Connor, to make it like a fabric softener. That's what I use distilled vinegar for. I don't use it to drink.
And look how pretty and clean all of my organs are because I drink the vinegar.
Okay.
I have the softest appendix this side of the Mississippi. And you
Yeah.
can quote the doctor on that.
I'm sure I can. You want
I
to see
don't-
my new shoes?
No.
Okay. I'm going to show you anyway.
All right, fine.
Hold on. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is the tag still on the bottom?
Yeah. And it'll be there until it wears off.
That's cool. I remember having those shoes in middle school.
Hey now. I do too. I got them. So it was the weirdest thing. And this is zero shade on Stitch Fix. Like, we are not sponsored by Stitch Fix. I wish I was, but we're not. Okay. I just want to throw this out there because it was the weirdest experience I ever had. And honestly, it's less shade on Stitch Fix because they fixed it, right? They Stitch fixed it.
God.
So I got a box, and I'm like, it's not the normal Stitch Fix box. Like, they usually have a tape that says Stitch Fix on it and everything. So like, I know it's a Stitch Fix box.
Yeah.
So I got a box. It's just like a normal looking box with tape. The sticker on it is faded, so I can't even tell where it's from. So I open it up, and I just find a Stitch Fix bag that just has these shoes in it. And I'm like I know I get random Stitch Fixes. I get them like every quarter or something like that because like I use my clothing budget for Stitch Fix. So like, that's my clothes. It's a stylist is styling things for me, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So but I just
not a sponsor.
Again, yeah. I just got the shoes. Like, that's all I got. And I'm like, there's no way they just sent me shoes. Like, there's usually a shirt, whether it's a button up or like a pullover, like sweaters, like it's still the cold months, so they probably would have sent me like a jacket. Like, what is going on? So like, I look on my app, and I just got this box a couple of days ago, like on the 25th or something like that. I don't remember. And I looked on the app, and it's like, please return the items that you aren't going to keep by January 19th. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I have checked my mail since January 19th, right?
Right.
These have not been in the mail. So what? Like, why would I? It's fine. But there were no clothes. And on the app, it was like, and there was this shirt and these pants and like a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, I didn't get any of that. So like, I went on with customer service, and I'm like, hey, weird sitch here. I only got the shoes. And they're like, oh, that's no problem. We'll just take off everything off your order except for the shoes, and you can choose whether or not you want to keep those. If you don't, you can send it back. And I was like, okay. So I like went to check out with the shoes because I love these shoes. Vans are my favorite. And green, solid choice.
Yeah.
So I went to check out, and they were originally $75, as Vans tend to be in the $60 to $70 range, depending. I got a 25% discount, right? And then on top of that, I got the $20 off that you get from Stitch Fix because you send in a $20 styling fee at the beginning of the period, you know, every time you get a style. And then whenever you go to checkout, it takes that $20 off of your checkout total. Usually the checkout total is in like the 200s because you're buying all of the stuff. And if you choose not to buy all the stuff, then, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I got $20 off. I got these for like $35. Solid price. Like, this is like a clearance level Van steal. Like, it was beautiful. I loved it. And I'm keeping these shoes forever until they wear out.
I mean, that's how most men deal with shoes, though. Like,
yeah, I have shoes that I probably bought before college, and they're still wearing down the soles.
I don't. My shoes wear out quickly.
Fair enough.
but that's because I would buy one pair of shoes and wear that same pair every
Right.
single day. But like, Autumn buys me shoes pretty much every gift exchange, and like they're great shoes. The Dr. Scholl's one that she got me for Christmas are like my everyday shoes now because they're so comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
It's just it's so many shoes.
I have become more of a shoe guy. Like I was kind of like that too, where I would get one pair of shoes and wear them until they wore out, and then keep wearing them until I had the money to buy another pair of shoes. And maybe that's just like the poor people in us. But I now have a lot of shoes. I have a pair of brown low top Vans that I love, and I wear them every time I'm trying to look nice because they look nicer than your typical Vans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're nice. They're brown. They're kind of like a little dress sneaker in a way. These green ones, I mean, I can only wear them with specific colors or else they'll look absolutely ridiculous. They don't look good with orange, but I wanted to wear them today, so I did. Kind of look like the Hobgoblin is what I feel like. Orange and he doesn't really wear green. He's more like an orange and purple. Doesn't matter. Speaking of the Hobgoblin,
I didn't watch it yet.
dang it, Connor! I want to talk about these pop culture shows. And
Don't
watched
even.
them.
Don't even. First of all, I'm so tired. This stupid show, I was so looking forward to it. And now just every new thing I learn about it just makes me not want to enjoy it more.
What I will say from watching the first 2 episodes, the actor who voices Spider-Man did come out and say some annoying things, right? However, I watched the first 2 episodes, and it's not like they've stripped it entirely. Honestly, it's not like they've stripped it at all. I don't know what he was talking about or complaining about. Like, he wasn't really complaining. He was like, I'm just glad the show isn't that way. But, like, it kind of is. You know what I mean? Like, there's still, like, Nika Minoru is in there, and she is not straight. You know what I mean?
But, like...
And the two of the main characters that are going to be in the show are black. Like, they switched their race from the original character. So like,
and I get it, and I get like Peter's the only white guy in there, and like
he's not the only white guy, but yeah,
if it hadn't been written into the contract that that Sony signed when they bought the character that Peter Parker could only be a straight white male, and like that they couldn't change anything about him, I'm sure Spider-Man would be gay at this point. But also just like, and I don't have a problem with any of that. That's not the problem. Problem I have now is that I have to listen to the main character of this show every episode, the main guy, and I have to think about how he thought it was going to be too woke.
Yeah.
And I just hate hearing that anymore because it's not wokeness. Okay, it's allowing other people to have a voice in society.
It's basic human inclusion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
I don't even see it as inclusionary because that's saying like, oh, you don't have a part in this space, I'm going to include you in it. Like, no, everyone has a part in this space.
Yeah, fair enough.
The point of these characters is that they exist in this world, and also these people exist in this world. So it's not inclusionary to say like, oh, we're going to add a queer Asian American character because there are queer Asian Americans in New York high schools.
Right.
If we were in a remote jungle and one came out of the nowhere, it'd be like, okay, well, this is woke now because you're just saying.
If anything, it's just making it like more realistic than what people are used to, right?
It's making it more authentic to what the world looks like. But because it's not the way that people think the world should look, it's wrong.
Right.
And all it is that you have hate in your heart, even though you claim to believe in all this other stuff that's not filled with hate. And that's what I hate. Or that's what like is getting me upset.
100%. I got you. The show's good though.
And I bet the show is good, but unfortunately, now that's all I'm going to be able to think about while listening to the show, and that's why I don't want to start it.
Fair.
Like, if I had started the show and then heard these comments come out, that would have been great.
Yeah,
but
it was like literally a day before the show came out.
Right.
Well, you can't all be perfect like The Rookie. Have you watched The Rookie?
Yeah, of course I watched The Rookie.
All right, just want to make sure that you saw the new episode before I spoiled it all. So, fun story. My coworker did spoil it all for me. So, I thought that I had watched the most recent episode. So, like, I went on to Hulu and I was like, all right, load up The Rookie. What's the episode I haven't seen yet? Okay, I'll watch that. So, I queued it up. I watched through the episode. And I'm like, man, that was a really good episode. Can't wait till next week for a new episode. Apparently, I was a week behind. And so I had 2 episodes to catch up on. And so I told my coworker, yeah, I watched the newest episode. And he's like, well, I have this theory about blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, in the episode, like this thing happened. I'm like, am I not paying attention anymore? Like, did I miss that? Did I black out for an entire 45 minutes while watching this show?
Possible.
It is possible, but not what happened. I actually didn't watch the newest episode. So then I did watch the newest episode right after I found out I didn't. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I have some theories. What are your thoughts on the newest episode?
It's hard to give Bailey credit for how awesome she is sometimes, because she's usually just there as like a compliment to Nolan.
Yeah.
But you forget, like, she's a lieutenant in the Army Reserves, and like she is a judo champion and all these other things. So
she's awesome.
when she got the drop on both the U.S. Marshal and Morlato, is that his name, right?
I think it's Marvado.
Morvado.
I don't remember, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, not to diminish her at all, because she's incredible, but it was also just like, oh yeah, Bailey's dope.
Yeah, I love her. Although I'm hesitant about her keeping the guy's number. Like, she was so close to just throwing it away and forgetting about it. And like, I know that she's different than Nolan, I guess. Like, Nolan is this, yes, he kind of can go off the deep end sometimes, especially when it concerns people he cares about. And you've kind of seen him do that lately.
Right.
But like, the fact that she's willing to work with a murderer who is trying to kill a murderer, I guess. I don't know. It just feels very morally dark to me for her character.
I think we've seen her in that self-preservation side before.
Yeah.
And it plays on the legit fear of someone who's been through a traumatic event with someone.
Yeah.
And that person is now a threat to them again.
Fair enough. Like, they're like, scary.
Like, if you're drowning, you're going to grasp at any straw you can to catch a breath.
Yeah. And I will say, to her credit, Nolan hasn't been through it with this guy before, other than what little he's experienced. She was in a relationship with this guy for years, married to him for years, and she knows exactly what he's capable of. Nolan is just kind of on the tail end of things. So, like, I do get it. Especially coming from an abusive relationship that, thank the Lord, that I got out of, right? Mm-hmm. Especially coming from a pretty abusive relationship. I can understand her character, her point of view, and the decision she's making right now. I wouldn't do the same, because I was not, like, my ex is not a psychopath who's going to try and kill me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're good, but I do understand abusive relationships to a point, you know?
Right. Like, she's not in the right, but I understand the idea, like the willingness to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that sense. But then, like, What I think you were talking about with your theory is Chen's rookie
Yes.
and
Yes.
how he's either a serial liar or a serial killer.
100% a serial killer. Okay, so like they introduced this one serial killer who is kind of like a Ted Bundy-esque kind of guy, right? He went in to I thought it was so funny. He went in to kill a bunch of sorority girls and they beat the crap out of him.
It was it was fantastic pacing, honestly, because he was represented by Wesley, and then Wesley got him off back when he was defense attorney.
Yeah.
And he calls Wesley again, and like after they learn that he just killed or tried to kidnap this one woman, and Wesley starts panicking and drives up as the police cars are racing there, and it's like this big moment because Wesley already feels all of that guilt, and it's like if more people die, like yes, ramp up the dramatic tension for us. This is going to be a great season, and then everyone bursts in, and he's just getting absolutely demolished by sorority girls.
Amazing kind of twist. And the rookie, I feel, is really, really good at that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Really good at kind of like taking your expectations and like slapping you in the face and completely subverting those expectations. However, back to the point, this guy is a serial killer and he has killed lots of people and buried them in a specific place. So they go to the place where he has buried the bodies. They uncover the bodies with cadaver dogs, and then they find a few extra bodies. And he is like, those ain't mine. But they're buried in a very similar fashion, in the same type of tarp, just like in the same area. So like, you're like, could they be his and he's just lying? Or because he wants to take credit for this stuff. And it's weird that he's not taking credit for this stuff. So you're like, interesting, very weird. And then in the same episode, and the rookie doesn't do anything unintentionally. Like, yeah, there are some plot lines that kind of get dropped depending on especially actors in the series. So like Aaron Thorson, they kind of just like dropped his story and moved on from his character because the actor left the series. You know what I mean?
But and even in that, they gave a good in-world story reason too.
Right. I feel like they're good at quickly in-world wrapping up stories that they had intended to go on but are now not going on, instead of just dropping them completely like certain DC and or Marvel movies. But they don't put things in unintentionally hardly ever. Like they always have a reason for plot lines and storylines, and maybe they're trying to make us go in one direction and make assumptions in one direction, but have it be completely different. But like we have seen Chen's rookie lie at least 2 times. We've caught him in explainable lies, I guess I should say. We don't know what the truth is because he's mentioned how he has cancer. And who knows if that's actually a lie or if he was hiding a body that morning. He's mentioned that his girlfriend died of an overdose. And then he said his girlfriend died in a car crash. And then he made a story up about how they were 2 different girlfriends, which is very possible. He's 20-something years old. It's possible. I don't know.
The worst luck with women then, though.
Yeah, right. Like, what are the odds that you both have? I mean, you just are choosing really bad women. It's a possibility, right? Like, it is a possibility that this happens. But it just seems a little sketchy. And Chen is also sketched out by this, and she is concerned, asking questions. And I'm worried because Chen has been in the arms of a serial killer before. I'm worried that it's going to be her again. That's getting too close to this situation. And I'm tired of Chen being in danger.
I don't think it's going to be Chen that's in danger.
Do you think
I think they brought Rachel back for a specific reason.
Ooh, but I don't like that either. Like, why would you bring a character back just for them to die or just for them to be captured by the serial killer. You know
Well,
what I
they
mean?
give me another rational reason to why she's here, because is
There
it just to create more tension between
Lucy and Bradford.
Lucy and Tim? Like,
It's possible. It's possible.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But there's also Nolan's rookie that could be a possible target, and there's also the other rookie that could be a possible target.
Texas.
We'll see how this plays out. Maybe he's not a serial killer at all, and maybe they're just pointing us in that direction to hide the true serial killer.
Because they did also have the scene where Lopez and not Talia, oh my gosh, Harper go to the mental hospital that the original serial killer was at.
Yeah.
And Harper gets attacked with a paralytic from some other random person down there.
Yeah.
So could not be that those bodies were the rookies, but he still could be a serial killer, or maybe he just always wanted to be one.
Maybe. I don't know. He's a copycat. Whoever it is a copycat.
He could be the person that killed Rosalind Dyer, because they never expounded on that.
That's true. That's true. But in real life, didn't she die of like cancer or something like that?
Yeah, and so like that's why they killed her on the show and everything. They let her go out in style, but like they never chased her killer down.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, man. I'm liking this show this season. Like, they have not had a bad season yet. There have been iffy episodes, but no bad seasons, I think. Like, as a whole. The show is still going strong, and I love it.
Agreed.
So anyway, how was your week?
Oh, I had the flu.
Oh, that's not fun.
No, it wasn't.
I don't even remember the last time I had the flu.
It was the first time I've actively known I had the flu, I should say. But also just like I've never really felt like that before with sickness. So it could have been the first time I've ever had the flu. The last time we spoke was the Friday last 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah.
And it was the day after I proposed and 2 days before that last episode went out. And after we got off chatting and recording, I left to go on a youth retreat as a leader. And that Friday night, I started feeling sick, or like I couldn't breathe. And I thought it was because I was just like walking around outside a lot.
Right.
And with the other lung diseases I've had, it's hard for me to breathe from time to time. And then on Saturday, I woke up and I was like coughing pretty hard, and like my throat was sore and everything. And it was just like, oh no.
This is bad.
My mom specifically told me not to get pneumonia again. And so I kind of just like tried not to die that day. And then Sunday I started feeling even worse. And I have insurance now. And so I was like, the smart decision is just going to be to go to the hospital to get checked out.
There you go.
Because if it's not pneumonia, cool. No reason to worry. If it is, I'm at the hospital. They can help.
Exactly.
And so I go get checked out. Autumn's there with me. It takes forever. I get there around like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I don't leave until like almost 11.
Yeah.
They give me a test, make sure I don't have pneumonia. It is the flu. Like they did that test to draw blood, all of that fun stuff. They give me an IV just so I can rehydrate.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have any beds immediately open. And so I was sitting out in the lobby for a few hours until they could get me a bed to do the IV drip. And there was this white trash couple seated like right next to us, where this guy was in such bad shape. He was in the wheelchair.
Jeez.
And they could not stop yelling at each other on the phone. They were in some sort of lease agreement and somebody wanted to like get access to the house or whatever. And that moment, they're like, we're not effing home. We're not going to give them the effing keys because we're not home. We're at the effing hospital. Why don't they understand that? For 3 hours.
Good Lord.
And I'm sitting there with a headache on an uncomfortable chair, trying just like to make it good.
Yeah.
And I'm like leaning back against the wall with my hoodie as a pillow, and I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I don't want to be there. I don't have any social energy because I was just a youth leader for an entire weekend. And I have to deal with all of this. And eventually I just look at Autumn and I go, hey, there looks like there's some more comfortable chairs over there. Do you want to move? And she goes, oh yeah, those do look more comfortable. And so we moved over to other chairs. It was a comfortability. I didn't lie. It was comfortability, but also I wanted to get away from those people.
Yeah, fair enough.
We move, we sit down. 5 minutes later, they call me back, and it's like, geez, come on. I finally get to lay down. They give me the IV, all of that. I go home, and I take the next 2 days off of work because I cannot breathe. I cannot move. I feel incredibly sick. Best part, though, was I did not throw up once.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Good.
Which was really nice because I don't like throwing up.
That's great, buddy. I hate throwing up too. I haven't thrown up since I was a child. I take pride in that.
3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks.
Yeah. So this will be episode 221. When you edited episode 219, I think that was the last time I threw up because I had my migraine.
Yeah.
It was so bad that I didn't leave my bed for 7 hours.
Right. Man, this light sucks. It just doesn't want to stay up. Like, what's the point of clipping you on if you're not going to stay up?
But a good thing about being at the hospital and everything, it gave us a lot of time to like discuss wedding stuff and like start getting that prepped.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried to take stock of every person in your life and figure out who's the most important and everything.
Yep.
It's tough.
It's stressful. It's so tough because, like, again, weddings are expensive. They're very expensive. And a lot of that expense comes from how many people you invite, right? So I would love more than anything to invite every single Joe Schmo that I've met in my entire life. But guess what I don't have the money for? Inviting every single Joe Schmo that I've met in my entire life.
But then you try to rationalize it by like, oh, the more people I invite, the more likely they are to like give us money and like a gift and things like that. But then you're like, yeah, but then for the $100 they're going to give me, I have to spend $45.
Right. So you're really only getting a net gain of like $15. I'm
right.
Obviously exaggerating on the amount, but like, come on. It's just not worth it. So I think we are down to like 80 some people, I think. Like we started out at over 100 people and we're down to like 80 some people. So I think we're going to keep whittling it down, not because we don't care about the people, but because it's either we haven't talked to them in decades or they weren't really that close of friends with us anyway. You know what I mean? Like, or we didn't get invited to their wedding. You know what I mean? And it's not like a revenge thing. Like, oh, you didn't invite me to your wedding. I'm not coming. You're not coming to mine. It's like maybe we weren't as close of friends as I thought we were, because I can't read social cues and I don't know if people just like me. And it's like, I know we're friends, but are we wedding friends? And like, apparently not, you know?
Yep. There have been people that I thought I was really good friends with that have gotten married and I wasn't invited. And I was just like, cool. Don't know why that happened.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. Like if you are really good friends, And some people just do like family. You know what I mean? Like some people just do family weddings. Fine. Like that's fine. But like if I thought we were like insanely close friends and it turns out we weren't, like then maybe you should look into your people pleasing tendencies. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not my fault that I thought we were really good friends.
Right. I think though we kind of had the opposite situation than what you just went with, where like you started at 100 and went down to. We started. We're like, all right, we'll have 50 guests.
Yeah.
And so then we're going through, and it's like, well, Matt has a fiance, and so this person has somebody, and then this person's dating somebody. It's like, okay, so then we bumped up to 75.
Yeah.
Or well, we need this person here, and if we're inviting that person, we should invite this person too. And now we have to invite the cousins and everything. So I think we're up to like 90 right now.
I'm so happy for you that you are engaged. However, I don't like. I'm so sorry that you're engaged. Like, it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a great thing. But wedding planning is the most god awful thing on the entire planet. That's why people make it their job, so that I don't have to do it, you know. But then I have to pay them too, and they have to come to the wedding.
What makes it easier is she got us this app like that she signed us up for and everything, and it everything's right there. Like I'm designing the wedding invites on the app. You can email it out to everyone. You can create the website through the app. Everything. It's fantastic.
It's great.
It even comes with a checklist of things.
Yeah.
And it's just following that checklist.
But somebody doesn't like to follow the checklist from what I hear.
Hey, man, she listens. Autumn is very much a big picture person. She's focused on like how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, all of that stuff. And that's fantastic. And I'm glad that she has the idea to think about all of that stuff. I'm trying to make it through the day every day. And so like the checklist of like, here's the things that you're supposed to be focusing on this month. Like we put the day that we're getting married. It's like, okay, so you're getting married this month. You're 10 months out, let's say. Month 10, you got to focus on just this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Month 9, you focus on this, and like it whittles down as you get closer and everything. But like I was like, okay, cool. I will focus on just this stuff. This is how I do not get stressed out. And then the other day she goes, "Kind of socks are you going to wear at the wedding?" I was like, I don't know.
I will think about that a month before the wedding. Like that's a month before. That's a week before the wedding kind of thought.
He asked me that before I nailed down who my groomsmen are going to be.
That's beautiful. I love
it. By the way, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to be one of my groomsmen?
Are you asking me this on air?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Hey, since you're already a groomsman, do you want to be my best man?
Yeah, sure.
None of the crying with your hands up is going to be in the video because you started talking after you moved.
I know. That's kind of the point. Hey, I've probably already asked you this, but since we're on that train, do you want to be my best man?
I feel like I pressured you into making me it back when you got engaged, but sure.
No, you were always going to be my best man. You're good.
There was a choice that had to be made if you were going to do it.
What?
There was another option.
Oh, excuse me?
It's not.
Who do I have to kill?
You don't have to kill anyone. She stepped aside graciously.
Oh, I see. I know exactly who it was.
Though Courtney, there was a time where Courtney would have fought you for that, right?
Yeah. Is she still gonna be on the other side?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be one of her bridesmaids. Like
okay, good.
She's like, oh yeah, I'm because Autumn wants her to be a bridesmaid, and so
right. So now she has to step aside. Thank you,
yeah.
Autumn. We may not get along all the time, Autumn, but in this instance, you're the best person ever. You're awesome. You want to be my best man, Autumn?
Hey. I'll end it right now.
No, this is
Remember
good.
where your bread is buttered, boy.
Speaking of butter, I just bought from Walmart. Okay, so I have noticed a little trend at Walmart. I don't know if I've talked about it on here. If I have, I'm going to talk about it again. I've noticed a little trend at Walmart, and that is that Better Goods is completely taking over Walmart. Completely taking over Walmart. I don't know what the brand is. It's only just now come up.
I don't know.
Very recently.
What is Better Goods?
I don't know. It's a brand that is swarming at least my Walmarts, the ones near me, Butler and Cranberry, Seneca-ish. But they're making they have a lot of like gluten-free stuff. They have literally something in everything. Is it literally the Walmart brand?
Yeah.
So they've rebranded. I see. That makes sense. Because I always thought it was for food, it was
Great Value.
Great Value. Yeah. But they still have some Great Value stuff. So that they just like start a second brand.
It's supposed to be higher quality, cheaper price. It's very similar to Good and Gather at Target.
Okay.
So it's Walmart's trying to then like, hey, we're still cheap, but like very similar to Good and Gather.
Okay. All right. So I'll take it. That makes sense why it's taking over Walmart, because it's literally everywhere. It's all over the place. So it makes more sense now. Thank you for looking that up, because I didn't feel like it.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I thought was going on, and I just didn't want to say it until I looked it up.
That's fair. I thought it was like a cult. We've joined the Better Goods cult. We've joined the Walmart Better Goods cult. But they have butter. They have like a little cinnamon honey butter. I can't wait to try it. I'm so excited. They had cinnamon honey. They had, and it was right next to the Texas Roadhouse roll butter. Cinnamon honey. They had maple brown sugar butter or something like that. And then they had a few other ones that I didn't care about, but they look really good.
I mean, I make my own cinnamon honey butter. But...
yeah, that's fair, but I don't. So Walmart Better Goods for the win.
It's not your fault that you don't know how to cook.
Correct.
What is your signature meal? If you were going to make dinner for me, like you specifically,
right?
If you were going to make dinner, what would you make?
Sorry.
None of that noise came through.
I know, Connor, because the blue box wasn't around my face. Okay. I love to make a stuffed chicken, right? So I get a chicken and I mash it full of fresh herbs and Parmesan cheese, right? I just jam it in there, right? And then I sprinkle a little of that Parmesan and herbs on top so that it like kind of caramelizes, right? So I flip it, put some more on the bottom. I flip it again and it caramelizes real nicely. The inside is all gooey and
the phrase you're looking for to form a crust.
Yeah, sure. And so I do that, and that's about it. I don't remember what herbs are in it though. If I'm being 100% honest, I usually follow a recipe. It's Parmesan. That's one of the best herbs out there.
I'm probably gonna guess garlic powder, onion powder, thyme, rosemary, maybe a parsley, oregano, definitely.
Maybe parsley, yeah. I don't remember. It's been so long since I made it. I don't make it very often, but when I do, man, is it good.
Just the poultry seasoning mix that comes in a packet?
No, I get fresh herbs. Fresh herbs, Connor.
You can get poultry seasonings and fresh herbs.
Just fresh herbs, Connor.
No, you can get you
No.
can get a packet of fresh herbs that says poultry seasonings on it. Yes.
Nope.
Don't make that look that. Don't stop it.
I am not a professional cook, Connor. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
I'm not a professional cook. I'm not you. I just kind of wing it based on recipes.
I'm also not a professional cook. I'm just good at it.
Gordon Ramsay, we got a new fresh Hell's Kitchen cook for you right here.
I could not do Hell's Kitchen. Do you know why?
Why?
If he just started screaming at me, I would just be like, I don't want to do it.
Your oppositional defiance is just too great for Gordon Ramsay.
I want my scallops. I don't care.
That's cool, bud. Come and make them yourself.
You can make them yourself if you want the scallops that badly. I don't know who you think you're yelling at. Palkia or Dialga?
We did Dialga last time, so Palkia. You should make a beef Wellington on your YouTube channel and tag Gordon Ramsay.
You guys want to see me make the world's worst beef Wellington?
And make it out of like hot dogs.
These are Hebrew nationals.
just like form them into like a middle finger, like a hand with the middle finger, just for Gordon.
I made this just for you.
I love Gordon Ramsay, man.
I would love to cook for him, but I want to make something I now present you a cheese sauce reduction with a homemade noodle next to a bed of freshly sourced vegetables and a chicken cutlet that was lightly breaded in some pinko crumbs and seared on top.
We should go on Next Level Chef. Like that should be our goal here, is to go on Next Level Chef.
If I went on any game,
Guys Grocery
Games, I think we've talked about this. I think I could kill it on Guys Grocery Games.
Yeah, I think you could too. And it helps that Guy Fieri is actually a nice human being. And like Gordon Ramsay is a nice human being, just not when he's a chef. Just not when he's a chef.
And like I get it. That was like the culture that he was taught how to like cook in. Like that's what it was like to work in a French restaurant. I don't work in a French restaurant, man. I'm a home cook.
He's nice on Next Level Chef. Like I like Next Level Chef, and sometimes he's.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I got a Giratina.
Holy crap, dude! That's a sick. That's really cool.
I got a really cool Cresselia full art that I didn't react to earlier, but the art. Listen, the art in the Diamond and Pearl set that just came out, or whatever it's called, they stepped it up. This is some good art.
Yeah, no, that Giratina card is sweet. I can't wait to see what Zekrom looks like.
Oh, I just got my Cynthia supporter, and I got a Togetic, and so now I can run Togekiss.
Nice.
Sorry, but we were talking about Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, he's nice on Next Level Chef. Chef is what I was saying. He still doesn't really hold back when he judges. Like he's like, no, this is garbage. If it doesn't taste good, but right. He's at least like he's not a jerk, and that's because he's a judge rather than a head chef. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I like about watching like MasterChef.
Yeah,
because like when you have the large pool of competitors, he's trying to push them to do better and whittle it down. But when you get to like the top 7, he's like, you're good at this. You know what you're doing. You just have to like focus, get your head out of your butt, and like work at it. And like there was one kid that was like 19 on the show, and he was like, "This is really what I want to do in my life." He's like, "You're not going forward in this competition. but where you are going is to culinary school, and I'm going to pay for it.
That's awesome.
And he's like, look, you're not going to win this competition, but you're going to keep getting better, and I'm going to make sure of that. And like, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You should pay it forward. Oh, I didn't realize I was blocking the camera. But like, pay it forward with.
Yeah, like,
like
that's exactly what I'm trying
I
to
hate
say.
everything about you. I'm ending this show.
Okay. I don't want it anyway. I don't want to be here. What do you think? This is my life now?
Thank you so much for listening.
Sorry.
You're gonna be so sad when I die.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Garlic Boys. If you'd like more from us, you can check us out on our social medias at The Garlic Boys on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Threads. You can find us at patreon.com/@thegarlicboys to financially support us there, as well as you can head to Redbubble to look at our designs and purchase some of them. Matt is still hard at work on the speed bag and Nazi design.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will have that up available soon. Remember, punch a Nazi, save a horse, fight a cowboy. That's also a good one. Write that down.
What? I didn't hear what you said, if I'm being honest.
I know. And then you can check us out on youtube.com/@thegarlicboys to watch video versions of this show as well. Matt, do you have a supplementary mom report for this week?
Whoever Guy Fieri's mom is that decided to name him Guy. The poor fella.
I think it's like the anglicized version of Guido.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's a weird name.
Shout out Garatina. She the baddest of them all. Leader of the distortion world. That's sort of like a mom, right?
Yeah, sure.
You have a final thought for this week?
I'm Guy Fieri, and this has been Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Check you out next time as we roll out. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. And remember, as always, to stay garlicky. So should we do a stinger or
A what?
that's what this end is called? It's called a stinger.
I thought it was called the tag.
You're a tag.
Your mom's a tag.
Heyo.